You keep thinking about someone. Over and over. Every single day. Maybe even every single hour. And you have no idea why. Is it just an old cliché? Something your grandmother used to say, if you think about them, they must be thinking about you? Or is there actually a deeper spiritual truth hidden beneath that saying? What if the reason you can't get this person out of your head isn't random at all? What if it's a sign? A message? A spiritual signal you've been ignoring? By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why this person is stuck in your energy, and more importantly, what to do about it. Stay with me. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. Constantly thinking about someone can feel chaotic, confusing, exhausting, even. You may find yourself asking, why is this person so stuck in my energy? In my thoughts? In my head? What is it about them that I can't let go? I want to offer you some potential spiritual explanations. Not absolute answers, because your situation is unique to you, but perspectives that have brought clarity to many others who have walked the same path. Use your intuition. Take what resonates. Leave what doesn't. Let's begin with reason number 1. The first spiritual reason you might be constantly thinking about someone is because you share a deep soul connection with them. Now, technically, we are all connected to one another on some level. Every soul on this planet is part of a vast, interconnected web of energy. But within that web, there are certain souls with whom we share a much closer bond. These are often called your soul family or spirit tribe. These are the people you are most closely connected to on a spiritual level. The reason for this is simple: they share a similar core soul frequency to your own. Their energy vibrates at a rate that feels familiar to you, even before you've ever exchanged a single word. And because everything in our universe operates under the law of attraction, like attracts like, the closer another soul's frequency is to yours, the more you will feel drawn to them. Mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and eventually, physically. Here's where it gets interesting. You can actually feel this pull towards someone before you even meet them in the physical world. That's how powerful soul connections are. So when you do eventually cross paths, even if you're just passing strangers on the street, even if you don't say one word to each other, that encounter will feel profound. You'll feel like you've known them before. Like something in you recognizes something in them. That recognition? It's not imagination. It's your soul acknowledging a familiar frequency. And after even that brief interaction, you may find yourself thinking about them over and over. Maybe for days. Maybe for weeks. Maybe even returning to them in your mind throughout your entire life, without ever really understanding why. Now, here's what's important to understand. These soul connections are not always romantic. They can be completely platonic. Your closest friends are often part of your soul family. Sometimes, even strangers you meet once and never see again can leave this kind of imprint on you. But yes, they can also be deeply romantic. On the romantic side of the equation, this person could be a romantic soulmate, someone you made an agreement with before incarnating to share a romantic experience in this lifetime. And for some of you, not everyone, but some, this person could even be your twin flame. Now, a twin flame is different from a soulmate. Unlike soulmates, who share a similar core frequency, your twin flame shares an identical core frequency. They are literally the other half of the same soul energy, incarnated in a separate physical body. That's why twin flame connections are so intense. So consuming. And why you absolutely cannot stop thinking about them when the connection is active. So if you're thinking about someone constantly, I want you to ask yourself, could this be a soul connection? Could this person be part of my soul family? A soulmate? Or perhaps, a twin flame? The answer to that question will shape everything else. The second spiritual reason you might be constantly thinking about someone is that, yes, as the cliché goes, they are constantly thinking about you. I know that might sound too simple. Or like wishful thinking. But before you dismiss this, let me explain the energetic mechanics behind it. Because there's real logic here. We are not just physical beings. You have a physical body, yes. But you also have an energy field. An aura. A subtle body that extends beyond your skin and interacts with the world around you. And what you project outward through that energy field comes primarily from your mind, specifically, from your subconscious mind. Let me explain how this works. Your thoughts create a vibration. Every thought you think has a frequency. When you hold a thought repeatedly, especially over time, that thought becomes rooted in your subconscious. And once it's rooted there, it begins to radiate outward as a stable energy frequency. Here's an example. Imagine someone truly believes I am a competent person. Not just saying it, truly believing it at a subconscious level. That belief becomes rooted. And then, without any effort, they begin radiating a stable frequency of confidence. Now here's the magic part, anyone can pick up on that frequency. People they walk past on the street. People they work with. People they've never even spoken to. Even people on the other side of the planet. Because we are all energetically connected. Every soul is part of the same field. And what you radiate can be felt by anyone, often without them even knowing why they feel it. Now translate that to thinking about you. Let's say someone is thinking about you constantly. Obsessively, even. Day after day, they're holding thoughts of you in their conscious mind. Over time, those conscious thoughts sink down into their subconscious. They become rooted there. And once that happens, they begin radiating a stable frequency of thinking about you. They are, in essence, forming an energetic bond with you, without even realizing it. Another way to think about this, they are manifesting you into their life. They're sending out a signal that says you over and over again. And eventually, that signal reaches you. Because just like with the confidence example, whatever we radiate energetically, stably, consistently, over time, can be picked up on by anyone. Including you. And here's the key, we are especially sensitive to thoughts about ourselves. Most of us are naturally self-focused. We live through our own perspective. That means we are very privy to thoughts that other people are consistently thinking about us. Think about all the times you knew someone was going to call you before they called. Or you thought of someone and then they texted you. Or you had a dream about them, and the next day you heard from them. That wasn't coincidence. That wasn't luck. That was your subconscious mind picking up on their energy, on their thoughts about you, and handing you that information. The same is true for whoever you're thinking about right now. Even if this person isn't a soulmate or a twin flame. Even if they're not part of your soul family. They could simply have formed an energetic bond with you through their constant, heavy, intense thoughts about you. So the cliché isn't entirely wrong. Sometimes, the reason you can't stop thinking about someone is because they can't stop thinking about you. The third spiritual reason, and honestly, the most common one, is simply that something about this person has genuinely caught your interest. And now your own thoughts are snowballing. Here's how this works. You meet someone. Or you see someone. Or you reconnect with someone from your past. And something about them sticks with you. Maybe they said something that resonated. Maybe they have a certain energy you find attractive. Maybe you're just curious. Whatever the reason, you start thinking about them consciously. Just a little at first. A passing thought here and there. But then you keep thinking about them. And each time you do, the thought gains a little more momentum. A little more energy. A little more weight. Eventually, those conscious thoughts become so frequent that they sink down into your subconscious. They become rooted there. And once that happens, you no longer have to try to think about them. They just arise on their own. Automatically. Uninvited. You've essentially planted the thought of this person in your own energy field. Not because of any soul connection. Not because they're thinking about you. But because you generated enough conscious thoughts about them to create a habit in your own mind. And now that habit is running on autopilot. This is the traditional psychological explanation, and it's just as valid as the spiritual ones. Sometimes, the simplest answer is the right one. You thought about them enough times that thinking about them became automatic. That's how the human mind works. So now you have 3 potential explanations. But how do you know which one is actually happening to you? The answer lies in honestly examining how you began thinking about this person in the first place. Let's start with reason number 1, a soul connection. In the case of a soul connection, a soulmate, a twin flame, or a soul family member, you will typically feel a pull toward this person that you didn't ask for. You weren't trying to think about them. You weren't reaching for thoughts of them. Something about them just felt familiar. Like you've known them before. Like something in you recognizes something in them. The thoughts don't feel forced. They don't feel like a habit you created. They feel like something coming to you, not something you're generating. And often, there's an emotional charge to these thoughts. A sense of depth. A feeling that this person matters in a way you can't quite explain. Now, reason number 2, they are constantly thinking about you. The difference here is subtle but important. With this one, you may not feel a deep soul pull to this person. In fact, you might not even be particularly interested in them. You might even find yourself wondering, why am I thinking about them? I don't even like them that much. And yet, they keep popping into your head. Randomly. Unexpectedly. Sometimes at odd hours of the night or first thing in the morning. There's no emotional depth to it. No sense of familiarity or soul recognition. Just a persistent, almost annoying presence in your mind. That's often a sign that they are the ones generating the thoughts, and you're simply picking up on their energy. Finally, reason number 3, you created this habit yourself. This one is the easiest to identify. You can trace it back. You remember when you started thinking about them. You remember the conscious decision to look them up on social media, or to replay conversations in your head, or to wonder about them. You reached for the thoughts. You fed the cycle. And now it's snowballed into something you can't control. If that sounds like you, then you're dealing with a mental habit, not a spiritual signal. And the good news is, habits can be changed. So now you know the why. What about the what now? What do you do if this person is thinking about you constantly? What do you do if you want to stop thinking about them? What do you do if you want to deepen the connection? The answer lies entirely with you, and what you want to create in your life. Option 1, deepen the connection. If you feel that this is a soul connection worth exploring, if something in you says this person matters, then you can consciously choose to radiate your own positive thoughts toward them. What you focus on grows. What you feed with your attention becomes stronger. You can send them silent blessings. Wish them well. Hold them in your heart without attachment or desperation. And that energy, that pure, positive focus, will strengthen the bond between you. Option 2, clear them out of your energy field. If this person is draining you. If thinking about them is painful. If you're tired of them living rent-free in your head, then it's time to protect your energy. Turn your attention inward. Sit in stillness. Allow your mind to empty. Visualize a bright, glowing shield of light around your entire body, a protective barrier that allows only what serves you to enter your energy field. You can also work with your own internal clearing practices. Meditation. Breathwork. Journaling. Anything that helps you release what isn't yours to carry. And remember, clearing someone from your energy doesn't mean wishing them harm. It simply means reclaiming your space. Choosing yourself. Deciding that your peace matters more than their presence in your mind. I know this can be a confusing experience. Thinking about someone constantly, not knowing why, can make you feel like you're losing your mind. But you're not. You're just sensitive to energy. And that's not a curse. It's a gift. The fact that you can feel someone's thoughts. The fact that you can sense a soul connection. The fact that you're aware enough to ask these questions at all, that's not a weakness. That's a sign of how deeply connected you are to the world around you. So take a breath. Trust your intuition. And know that whatever is happening with this person, you have the power to choose your next step. If this message resonated with you, type moon in the comments. Sending you so much love. Take care of yourself. And I'll talk to you in the next reading.